When your cat looks at you and slowly closes their eyes, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it looks peaceful, sweet even. But behind that simple gesture, there's something most people completely miss. It's one of the most deliberately vulnerable things your cat can do. And if you ignore it or respond the wrong way, which most owners do without realizing it, you might be turning away from something your cat worked up the courage to offer you. Let's start with what that slow blink really means. It's not a reflex, it's a choice. Most people assume the slow blink is just a cat being sleepy or relaxed in the moment, like they drifted off mid-stare and happened to look soft doing it. Here's what's actually happening. The slow blink is not passive, it's not accidental. Cats are hardwired, going back tens of millions of years of predator-prey evolution, to never close their eyes around something they don't fully trust. In the wild, closing your eyes, even for a second, can mean death. Their default state is vigilance, always watching, always ready. So when your cat looks directly at you and chooses to close their eyes slowly, they are overriding one of their deepest survival instincts. Think about that for a second. They're not zoning out, they're making a decision. And the fact that they make that decision specifically with you, not with a stranger, not with someone they merely tolerate, is where this gets meaningful. And by the way, if you've ever noticed your cat only does this in certain rooms, or only when you're at a specific distance from them, don't brush that off. We'll come back to what that positioning actually signals. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex conducted a controlled study on slow blinking in domestic cats. They had owners and complete strangers interact with cats using slow blinks versus neutral expressions. The results were clear. Cats responded to slow blinks with slow blinks of their own, and they did it significantly more with familiar people than with strangers. But here's what most coverage of that study left out. The cats who received slow blinks back, from their owners specifically, showed measurably lower stress indicators during the interaction. Not just behavioral calm, physiological calm. Your response to their slow blink literally changes what's happening inside their body. That means when you catch your cat looking at you across the room and you slow blink back, you are not doing something cute. You are completing a communication loop that has a real biological effect on your cat's nervous system. You are telling them, in a language their body understands, you are safe here. 3. They're not just looking at you, they're marking you as safe. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Cats have a complex system of social signals that exist specifically to distinguish threats from non-threats. Direct, unblinking eye contact, in feline language, is a challenge. It signals tension, dominance, potential conflict. Feral cats use it before fights. Even friendly cats will look away from each other to signal they don't want trouble. The slow blink inverts that entirely. By holding your gaze and then softening it, your cat is essentially reclassifying you. They're taking the thing that should feel threatening, direct eye contact, and layering it with deliberate calm. Behavioral scientists who study feline social cognition refer to this as an affiliative signal. It's in the same family as slow grooming, soft vocalizations, and choosing to sleep near someone. What it means, practically, is that your cat has built an internal category just for you. Not human, not the one who feeds me. Something closer to the presence that doesn't require me to be ready. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your cat, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more cat owners who want to love their cats the right way. 4. Where this behavior actually comes from. To understand why slow blinking means what it means, you have to go back to where cats first learned to be soft at all. Kittens slow blink at their mothers. It's one of the earliest social behaviors they develop, before they can even fully control their own body temperature. The mother responds in kind, and what gets built between them is a communication channel rooted entirely in safety. I see you. I'm not a threat. You don't have to be afraid here. What researchers have found in domestic cats is that this maternal behavior doesn't disappear. It gets redirected. When cats are socialized with humans during their early developmental window, roughly 2 to 7 weeks old, they begin to transfer these kitten behaviors onto the people they bond with. You are not simply a person to your cat. You have, neurologically speaking, inherited some of the emotional role that their mother once held. The slow blink your cat gives you across the couch is the same signal they once gave the only creature in the world whose presence meant they would survive. That's not a small thing to receive. 5. The part that should actually mean something to you. Here's what most people don't realize. Cats are profoundly selective about this. Studies on multi-person households show that cats direct slow blinks primarily at the person they have the strongest attachment bond with. Not necessarily the one who feeds them most often. Not the loudest voice in the house. The one they feel most emotionally safe around. Your cat is not slow blinking at everyone. They're not doing it for the house guest who tries too hard. They're not offering it to the person who picks them up without permission. They've mapped every person in their world and decided, with full intention, that you are the one who gets this. Think about that for a second. In a house full of people, your cat looked around and chose you to be vulnerable with 6. The deepest layer, what they're actually risking. Remember earlier when I said your cat is overriding a survival instinct? This is what I was talking about. Vulnerability for a cat is not a feeling. It is a physical state with real consequences. In the wild, a cat that lets its guard down dies. That is not metaphor. That is the evolutionary reality written into every cell of your cat's nervous system. When your cat slow blinks at you, they are not just sending a signal. They are temporarily suspending their own defenses in your presence. What makes this the most meaningful thing your cat can do isn't just that they trust you. It's that they trust you enough to stop protecting themselves. There's no stronger statement a prey animal can make about another living being, and they're making it about you, quietly, from across the room, without needing you to understand it. 7. When it stops, and why you shouldn't ignore it. If your cat used to slow blink at you regularly and has stopped, pay attention. It doesn't always mean something is wrong between you. Cats in pain, cats under chronic stress, cats who are ill, will often withdraw affiliative behaviors first. The slow blink disappears before the limping, before the hiding, before the obvious signs most owners finally notice. A 2019 observational study on feline pain indicators found that reduced social signaling, including affiliative eye contact, was one of the earliest behavioral markers of discomfort in domestic cats. This is where most owners get it wrong. They think the cat is just being moody, or distant, or that something shifted between them. But sometimes the message isn't about the relationship at all. It's about the cat. If the slow blinks stop and nothing else in their environment changed, have them checked. Don't wait for a more obvious sign. By then, you've already missed several. So when your cat looks at you from across the room, hold your gaze for just a moment, and then slowly, deliberately closes their eyes. They're doing something that runs against every instinct they were built with. They are choosing to lower their guard, on purpose. For you, that's not drowsiness. That's not a reflex. That's your cat making a conscious decision that you are safe enough to be soft around. And the next time it happens, and you slow blink back, you're not playing along with something sweet. You're answering them in the only language that reaches the part of them that was never supposed to trust anyone. That slow blink was never small to them. It shouldn't be small to you either.